It's not normal that I know that I'm smarter than the president. You're supposed to be trying to fix the problems of America, right? So you target a community that's less than 1% of the population, right? So you're going after, affirming care as far as like the sex. And it's like, okay, so you're focusing on that, on sex change. It's like, how about focus on climate change that affects everybody instead of sex change? That's like less than 1%.
Wanda Sykes walks onto daytime TV with that "I've got time today" smile. Here's Melania's latest PR hymn about her husband's kindness and positivity, and fires off a line so sharp it slices through the sugarcoating and lands right on the truth. The studio laughs, the internet clips it, and the usual rage machine tries to spin up into a hurricane. Call the reaction whatever you want: meltdown, tantrum, a chorus of "how dare she," but the reason it stings is simple.
I am certain this is not the first time we've elected a racist, sexist, homophobic president. He ain't the first one. He's just the first confirmed one. That's it. Wow. Fuck you, motherfuckers. Fuck all y'all. Fuck all of y'all.
That's right.
Fuck you.
Yes.
You. All of y'all.
Subscribe to America Facticity. Wanda didn't invent anything. She held up a mirror. And when some people see themselves clearly, they start shouting at the mirror. Let's set the table. Melania Trump, forever marketed as the Sphinx of Fifth Avenue, sits down for a friendly chat and offers the public her favorite portrait of her husband. A kind man, a gentle soul, a beacon of positivity. She is entitled to her opinion, of course, and to the media tour that carries it.
It's just embarrassing. Actually, the whole administration is just embarrassing, incompetent, corrupt. I haven't said, white people, y'all really should be embarrassed by this. You really should be. Y'all really need to do something, seriously.
Then Wanda, with the precision of a surgeon and the timing of a thief, threads the needle. He can be all those things, until the part of the story folks would prefer to skip. The power of the line isn't the joke, it's the contrast. On one side, a curated version of a man who lives for flattering light. On the other, a country that watched, read, and remembered. Wanda's gift is translating that memory into a sentence your aunt in Ohio can repeat at lunch without a footnote.
And it's all fear. It's like, your son goes to school as a boy and comes home a girl. I'm like, relax, it's a man bun. Shut up. It's a man bun. Relax.
Do you see anything positive that came out of this? Do you have a positive spin? I take that as a no.
If I were a straight white male, yeah, I'm good.
Your wife is French.
Good,
Your
yeah.
wife is from France and has citizenship there. Do you have citizenship there?
No, I
You
do
do
not
not.
have citizenship in France.
So that's not your kind of backup plan. You might leave the country.
Man, my ancestors got too much blood in this land. I ain't going nowhere.
But if you want to understand why the exchange burrowed under the skin, you need the immigration chapter, the one the family would rather we talk around. Begin with the visa that launched 1,000 headlines, EB1. The category nicknamed, fairly or not, the Einstein visa. It's designed for the tiny percentage of people at the very top of their fields. Scientists, athletes, artists, and yes, the rarefied few in fashion and entertainment who can document international acclaim and sustained achievement.
In this country. And since we're talking about integrity, I'm confused as to why my Republican colleagues aren't talking about the lack of integrity when it comes to the president's family's visas. Let me remind y'all that Melania, the First Lady, a model, and when I say model, I'm not talking about Tyra Banks, Cindy Crawford, or Naomi Campbell level, applied for and was given an EB1 visa. And what that stands for is an Einstein visa. Now, y'all that don't know, let me tell you how you receive an Einstein visa. You're supposed to have some sort of significant achievement, like being awarded a Nobel Peace Prize or a Pulitzer, being an Olympic medalist, or having other sustained extraordinary abilities and success in sciences, arts, education, business, or athletics. Last time I checked, the First Lady had none of those accolades under her belt. it doesn't take an Einstein to see that the math ain't mathin' here.
In 2001, Melania received that green card. No degree required, no sin committed. The standard is fame, not formal education. Did it spark debate? Absolutely. That's what EB1 does even on a quiet day. It tests how comfortable a country is with saying extraordinary out loud, but it was legal, it was granted, and it became the bridge to citizenship.
Good. Now, and here's the thing, I'm telling you right now, black women ain't having it right now, okay? So black women, give them a break right now, all right? We just chilling right now, so don't ask us dumb questions and stuff. Don't be, somebody and with them puppy dog eyes and be like, oh, I'm sorry. You will get the slapped out of you. Right now. We just, black women are taking a break. Hell, I probably shouldn't even be here right now. My ass should be home in my house shoes with a bonnet on my head. That's what I should be doing right now.
Today I stand before the United Nations General Assembly to share the extraordinary progress we've made. In less than 2 years, my administration has accomplished more than almost any administration in the history of our country. America's so true. Didn't expect that reaction, but that's okay.
Fast forward to the image that says more than any panel debate, two older immigrants, Melania's parents, standing with hands raised, taking the oath of citizenship in 2018. How did they get there? The same family-based system that has knit America together for generations. A citizen files for immediate relatives, the government processes the petitions, and a few years later, new citizens exist where there used to be only visitors on a holiday visa. We used to call that family reunification.
We were talking about President Trump's first 100 days. I'm just curious, what's your assessment about how it's going?
Horrible. I mean, the ratings are showing. I mean,
yeah.
I think Gout has a higher approval rating. Gout's very popular.
Well, what do you think? What do you think? Like he could do to maybe make things better?
Resign?
Yeah.
I think that'll. At least he was a little smarter this time, just a little, because the first term he surrounded himself by somewhat competent people, right?
Yeah.
But then they all realized that he was an idiot and they quit.
Yeah.
This time he's like, I want all dummies, all just give me the most incompetent, just put them all around me, and it makes him look a little better. Yeah, it's just chaos. It's crazy.
Loyalty was the only test.
Absolutely.
That was the only one they took. But
Somewhere along the way, political consultants rebranded it chain migration because focus groups told them the word chain makes empathy sound dangerous. The rebrand didn't change the law. It changed how cable segments felt to people who don't know anyone who's filled out an I-130. Now, park those facts next to a podium emblazoned with a presidential seal and a microphone a man cannot resist. There he is, riffing about shutting down chain migration.
Both terrorists came to our country through the dysfunctional immigration system that we are correcting, and rapidly. And one came through chain migration, the other visa lottery. They have a lottery. You pick people. Do you think the country's given us their best people? No. What kind of a system is that? They come in by a lottery. They give us their worst people. They put them in a bin. But in his hand, when he's picking them, is really the worst of the worst. Congratulations, you're going to the United States. Okay.
Insisting merit must replace family, promising that the same pathway that brought his in-laws to citizenship is a national threat when it belongs to someone else. The contradiction isn't subtle. It doesn't need a conspiracy map or a wall of string to connect. The family he loves used the rules as written. The voters he keeps warning about would be told those rules are soft, dangerous, un-American. Wanda's line lands because it doesn't just puncture the myth of personal holiness, it punctures the myth of policy holiness.
Trump annoys me, his whole family annoys me. Yeah.
The whole kit and caboodle. They annoy me. That family's rotten to the core, I'm telling you. Just rotten to the core. And you know, and not only are they costing us a shitload of money, because he keeps going to that tacky ass Mar-a-Lago. If you couldn't pay me to spend the night in that tacky ass joint. I was getting caught up on Homeland the other night. There was a scene when they were in, I don't know where the fuck they were. No, they were in Iran, and it was showing the guy talking to people, whatever, and I was like, that backdrop looks like Donald Trump's bathroom at Mar-a-Lago. Look at that tacky ass shit. It was awful. Costing us money. Melania, whatever, won't take her ass to D.C., but I can't fault her for that one either.
It says, your house knows the door works even as your speeches promise to brick it up for your neighbor. Because this is America, the spectacle insists on a few photographs too, receipts to glue words to memory. There's one image in particular that never seems to retire, Mar-a-Lago, February 2000. Donald Trump, Melania Knaus, Jeffrey Epstein, and Ghislaine Maxwell smiling in the same frame. What does that photograph prove? Only what a photograph can prove, that they occupied the same social space on a particular evening.
I keep thinking about that debate, and the thing that stayed with me is how she was able to call him a motherfucker without calling him a motherfucker. That was genius, with just a look. You know, and we all heard it when she said,
And this former president,
we all heard it. We all heard her call him a motherfucker without calling him a motherfucker. This was genius.
Long before the country learned, in excruciating detail, what Epstein was doing in plain sight and in shadows, it does not prove crimes by Melania. It does not make her complicit in the unspeakable. But the picture matters because it demolishes the favorite defense of the powerful when a past becomes inconvenient, that they were nowhere near the mess, never met the man, don't remember the party. The picture says otherwise. And it situates Mar-a-Lago, his club, his stage.
Here's another thing that's not normal. Presidents, they've all aged while in office, right? They age while in office. President Obama went totally gray. His face started drooping, got all droopy in the face. I know one time I was like, is that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? George W. Bush, he shrunk 4 inches. At one point, he was looking like Gollum from the Lord of the Rings. Bill Clinton, he grew that bulb on the tip of his nose. What the was that? Bill Clinton looked like the man on the operation board. But not Trump. Nope. He's on executive time. Trump hasn't aged, but we have.
In the wider story that survivors and reporters have assembled, including accounts that a young woman was first approached there on that property by Maxwell. Again, proximity isn't guilt. Proximity is context. In politics, context is oxygen. Put those pieces together and you get the real reason Wanda's jab drew blood. It stacked the personal myth on top of the policy myth and asked the oldest American question. Does any of this add up? A wife who insists her husband is soft when the cameras pretend not to catch him at his hardest.
Are you concerned about the delays at airports, and how do you see the shutdown?
Oh, sure. I mean, they're all Democrat delays. There are delays at the airport. That's standard. And again, this is something that every day we put forth a bill. It's just a continuation. It's a very simple thing to sign and very simple to do. And I really think that these are people that I think they have nothing to lose. They have a party that's out of control. They have no leader. Nobody knows who the leader is. I look at people with very low IQs like Crockett, this woman Crockett. I never met her, but she's a low IQ individual. I look at AOC talking about how if they want to negotiate, they can come to my office. She's not in that position to do that. And who the hell is she to say that? And then I watch Nancy Pelosi not knowing what to do. I watch.
A family whose immigration ladder is celebrated at home and kicked out from under strangers on stage. A social circle that included the worst kind of predator back when he was welcome in every room that smelled like money, followed by years of we barely knew him once the headlines made we were friends inconvenient. This isn't gossip, it's the math of public life. If you run for the most powerful job on the planet twice, you don't get to decide which photographs, which visas, which oaths exist. They all exist.
Do you know, a friend of mine told me that they were at the movie theater and they had to like clear them out a little bit because Tiffany Trump was there. Tiffany Trump came in with Secret Service and they had to move them out. What the fuck? Why does Tiffany Trump have a Secret Service detail? Why? Why does she? Nobody gives a shit about Tiffany Trump. Trump don't even like her ass. He never mentions Tiffany Trump. Her name is like Rumpelstiltskins to him. Tiffany Trump does not need Secret Service detail. First of all, I have no idea what the girl looks like. You could be Tiffany Trump. I don't know. I don't give a shit. I don't know.
The job is answering for them without pretending the audience is blind. And since we're telling the full story, remember that Melania is exactly what this country says it loves. An immigrant who arrived with ambition and carved out a life. That should be a nonpartisan sentence. But it becomes a trap when the people around her treat immigration as a switch they can flick on for family and off for everyone else. Watch how the rhetoric morphs depending on the beneficiary. When the in-laws raise their right hands, it's a quiet, noble ceremony.
You've been very vocal about your support of Vice President Kamala Harris.
Absolutely.
And you particularly enjoyed the debate. What spoke to you?
Well, the debate, not just her policies and the direction that she wants to take the country, but I just was blown away by her ability to be able to call the former president MF without calling him an MF. I mean, we all heard it. We did hear it. We all heard it. Yeah. We all heard it. I was like, oh, I said, you can't say that on TV. What are you doing? And then I rewound it, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. I'm hearing it, but it's not coming.
Was that walk?
It was the walk, but it was the look when she said, and this. Yes, president. And I was like, oh my God, I had to put the closed caption on. I was like,
When a family in Queens files the same paperwork, it's a crisis. When the First Lady's parents join her in America, it's a heartwarming chapter. When a housekeeper asks for reunification, it's a loophole. The legal pathway didn't change, the lighting did. Late night comics make hay out of that lighting because no monologue beats hypocrisy for laughs. The bigger the gap between what you preach and what you practice, the smaller the distance between a punchline and the truth.
Jimmy, I'm a black woman and a lesbian. How the hell you think I'm doing?
I think they call that 0 for 3.
Yeah,
yes,
right, exactly.
What's your opinion of why it went this way? Why Americans voted the way we did?
Sometimes America is just gonna America. I mean, there's so many reasons why you can say, it happened, but I think, a lot of us aren't like totally shocked. You get your hopes up and you think you move forward and honestly, I blame those damn Cheerio commercials and showing all those interracial couples. You scared the out of white people. It's like, what are y'all doing? It's just cereal. Just sell the damn cereal. Why are you bringing us into this? They got gay couples selling like just freaking sell your stuff. Don't bring us into this.
Cheerios. I knew they were responsible for something.
The other ingredient in this stew is the long-running campaign to rename compassion as weakness. Trumpism has always sold kindness as a con and empathy as a trap, a luxury item for people who never built a skyscraper with their bare hands. So when Melania leans into kindness and positivity, she thinks she's offering a balm. Wanda hears the sales pitch and flips the sign around. Kindness is not a brand asset you sprinkle on the bio. It is the decision you keep making when it costs you something.
How does he not know that he's individual number one? Come on. Everybody who's been indicted or going to jail, Papadopoulos, Gates, Flynn, Manafort, it all says in the Mueller report that they co-conspired with individual visual #1.
It's refusing to demonize the same process your family used. It's declining to smear as invasion the same journey your life celebrates in photo albums. It's acknowledging that the country's generosity is a net you fall into on the way up, not a hammock you cut when you reach the balcony. We should also touch the nerve that keeps twitching whenever Epstein's name appears in this orbit, the difference between what we know and what we speculate. What we know is that the social circles overlapped, documented in images and guest lists.
Hey everybody, so I'm in a full face of makeup because I was supposed to go over and have a chat with my friend Jimmy Kimmel on his show. But as you have heard by now, the Jimmy Kimmel show has been pulled indefinitely, abruptly, because of complaints from the Trump administration. So let's see. He didn't end the Ukraine war or solve Gaza within his first week, but he did end freedom of speech within his first year. Hey, for those of you who pray, now's the time to do it. Love you, Jimmy.
What we know is that Mar-a-Lago appears in a survivor's account as the place where a recruiter made first contact. What we do not have is evidence that Melania was party to crimes. If you care about truth more than point scoring, that line matters. It matters because credibility isn't a faucet you can open for friends and close for enemies. Either you hold the line or you don't. And if you hold it, then the picture's job isn't to convict, it's to remind. The story tells on itself even without embellishment.
The fact of the matter is that, I don't think that these threats of a lawsuit are add up to anything other than a design distraction, because it's not about who introduced whom to who. I don't know how that's in any way rises to the level of defamation to begin with. But the fact of the matter is that this is about hundreds, if not over 1,000 minors, children who were raped by Jeffrey Epstein. And I don't believe in guilt by association alone, but the connections have become they're so glaringly obvious that I think they're trying to use other things to distract. And I also think they're bullies, and they think that $1 billion is going to scare me, which is the fact of the matter is that if they'd like to go, I have this to say to them. If they want to sit down for a deposition and clarify the nature of the relationship between Jeffrey Epstein, if the president and the first lady want to do that, and all of the known associates around them at the time of whatever time that they met, I'm more than happy to provide them the platform to be able to do it.
If you're on YouTube, subscribe to America Facticity for more narrations that turn spin back into sentences you can use.